Hello, and welcome to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
That's my go-to now when I'm in the home improvement stores.
Yeah.
I'll like browsing like the tools and the sockets.
Well,
and
that's
whatnot.
on the Christmas list.
And can I help you, sir? Can I help you find anything? And I went, nah, just making a Christmas list. And I get, no, is there anything on there for me? Man, bitch, fuck off.
This is my list.
I'm having a hard enough time getting these things pushed out.
I don't even know your fucking name.
Yeah, who are you? Carl? Fuck off. Man, you didn't even put any attempt to decorate your apron. You don't get on my list.
You haven't been to my house and set up any fucking lights.
All you do is flap at me with questions.
Can I help you?
Can I help you?
But you know what?
What do I need to do for you, sir?
When I really fucking need it, you're not here, are you?
Yeah.
You're over in aisle fucking 39,
Yeah.
spanking to some lights.
Yeah. Yeah, and by the way, your selection is balls.
You might need to go stand under some of those ceiling fans because you're a little hot right now, buddy.
Yeah. Why don't you take one of those electric cords
and string it up in the bathroom area.
Yeah. See these open rafters? Make use of them. I'd build you a... No, I wouldn't because it'd be too expensive.
The wood alone.
God damn.
Fucking retirement city. Jesus.
God.
Well, welcome to the show.
Hey, welcome to Sad Dads Club Podcast, episode 142. I'm the Lord Foo.
I am Jim.
Nailed it.
Gosh. And we are, I feel like we're on piss. We're fired up.
I know. What did we watch where I was making jokes about dude doing lines of coke? Oh, Doug DeMuro.
Oh,
is it?
I never thought about that. And then after I paused it and read your comment, went, press play again. I went, oh, damn.
He
very well may be on coke.
I'm not quite sure where he breathes. Because he's just like, and it's 40 miles per gallon, the long bed, the weight reduction, and all-wheel drive, four-lane inline cylinder hybrid engine, 30 miles to the gallon. A, I already got the miles per gallon. You said that like 3 seconds ago. B, holy shit, you're the Isuzu fast-speaking guy.
Yeah, I'm Joe Isuzu.
Hi. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, and with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah. Brain dump.
Yeah.
Like, I respect the knowledge dump because his shots are really wide.
Yeah.
And when he's like doing some of those things, so it's not like I could see how he's reading something off a prompter.
I don't think he has a cue card or anything.
That dude is just straight up brain dumping.
Yeah. He's regurgitating whatever someone told him.
Mad props.
Here's what I thought was weird about. We're just talking about the video where he's talking about the new Ford Maverick pickup, and he can't drive it. It's a pre-production model, and it looks like it's in someone's driveway.
Right.
Which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't drive it, but here it is in this person's driveway in a mobile home park.
It's like, fucking come on. What? You're opening. He's showing everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what? You've got a non-functional, fully assembled thing in your driveway?
I think it works. They're just not allowed to have anybody drive them. That's my guess. I think it's function. I think the whole thing is functional.
Right. But like, at what point do you like here, you're just short of like putting the tip in.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, just fuck.
I mean, he pretty much covered every single bit front to back.
To like get all that like regurgitation and exposure to the truck or vehicle of anything, and then be like, but I can't give you my driving impression because it's pre-production. But for pre-production, I saw 99% of that thing.
Yeah.
And you're worried about the impression of whatever it is that it will be that he drives it? Like, that's pretty key to me.
I want to say they did the same thing. He did the same thing with the new Ford Broncos. Like,
really?
Yeah, there were a couple pre-production Broncos that he did a video on and talked about all the quirks and features, and he wasn't able to drive those either.
Right.
So I thought that's interesting that he'll do that. And it probably depends on the manufacturer and whether or not they're willing to like show pre-production stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of the stuff that he's showing, I don't know if you looked at it real close, like in the interior, some of those orange bits that were inside,
Yes.
they were like painted. You could see like the paint chipping off and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
And then there was one, he was pointing at the buttons that were on the instrument cluster in the center.
Okay.
And there was a close-up shot of the buttons, and it was like the traction control and what mode the truck's going to be in. And there was like dings and shit on it, like it had been hit with keys, or I don't know. It was like little nicks and
Someone's
stuff.
in there doing the ball bearing test, like,
Yeah.
how much does the paint scratch when I throw bearings at it?
Yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't imagine that they're going to be painting plastic parts to put in the car. They're probably molding them out of orange something, right?
Yeah.
They're not painting that.
Right.
So, I mean,
I ended up stopping just short of seeing his comment about how much he liked the orange accents. The interesting internal door card handle, how it was kind of like an open architecture to it, like an open arm, not an enclosed thing. I thought that was interesting. But at that point, I think it then went back to like an outside shot of him looking in the engine bay, and he was just like, and I went, good God.
Yeah.
I need to take a breath for you.
He spews.
And he was just like,
oh, yeah.
And then I, of course, made my cocaine comment.
When you think about what that guy's doing, it's important for him to get all of that information right. He wants to make sure that in the future, when Ford has some other new thing, that they invite him to come do a pre-production video again.
Right.
Because that just puts his channel in the forefront of like, here's this brand new thing that was just announced yesterday.
Right.
And here I've got a video on it.
Right.
I mean, that video.
And he gets to double up.
And
right?
Well, that video may have been recorded like weeks ago. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, he may have just been waiting for it to be announced so that he could drop the video.
So they come out this year. So yeah, he gets to double dip that model because he'll get to
do the
driving impression.
Yeah.
Where I'm sure for however long that is, plus the length of time it takes him to snort 4 more lines of coke and then regurgitate his specs video, he can get another monetized 10 plus minutes.
I mean, I've watched a lot of his videos. I never even ever considered cocaine, but I've
seen him do other ones,
possible.
and I didn't really get that impression. But that one, I was like,
maybe he was just really excited.
Good God!
I mean, he was excited, but maybe he was just really excited.
I'm here first.
Yeah.
Christ. Good for him, though.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Cool. I mean, if you can get coke, then
if you can afford it.
I mean, but maybe just make sure it's not the pre-production coke.
Yeah. Well, you want the coke before it's cut with some baking soda or some shit like that.
Baby powder.
Yeah. Yeah. Why does it smell like a wet diaper?
Yeah.
Speaking of car stuff, I did 3 oil changes this weekend in my garage, and that was fun.
Okay.
2 of them were really easy.
So probably for those who don't do oil changes, probably I would say one of the biggest hurdles. So before you get into there, one of the biggest hurdles to someone who has never done an oil change before is going to be, what would I possibly do with the oil that's left over? So as someone that just did 3 oil changes, what do you do with the oil that's left over besides hoard it?
The oil that you dump out of the engine?
Right.
You take it to AutoZone and recycle it.
So is there a limit?
Not that I know of. I want to say I took about 11 or 12 quarts of oil.
So how did you do that?
You just walk in the front door.
No, I mean like in what container?
Okay, so I have it's old. It's a green container that has a lid that's about
pie tin shape.
It's a green container, holds 10 quarts.
Okay.
And then it has a big lid on the top that's about, 10 or so inches around.
Okay.
And you screw it off, and then there's a grate in it. And the oil, just when you open up the the
drain
oil
plug.
the drain plug. It just flows through the grate, and that grate is good for catching
The
oil
drain
filters
plug?
and the drain plug. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the oil flows right through there. Now, I actually did have a problem because it'll hold basically 2 oil changes for any of the cars that we have at my house.
Mm-hmm.
But the container, like I said, holds about 10 quarts, and I'm draining my wife's car. And I look over just to make sure, and I see it coming up, rising
Into
up
the
to
grate.
into the grate.
Oh,
and I go,
shit.
oh, shit. And I grab the thing and stick the plug and screw it back in.
Okay.
And then I'm like pissed because I know my son has put way more oil in here than I expect. I mean, it felt about half full, which would have been more than enough room for me.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've got to figure out some other container to capture the rest of the oil in so I can finish the job.
Okay.
Found a paint
can
roller tray.
Okay.
And just filled that up.
Okay.
And then ended up pouring that oil into the old empty container of new oil that was empty.
Okay, gotcha.
And then so I took the 10 quart thing and that old like 5 quart container, not old, but the one I had emptied into the car, and I took those to AutoZone, and they have a recycling like drum or something in the back that they just empty it into. So that's important that you do that. You don't want to put oil in your garbage.
You don't want to put it in the garbage. So essentially, you shell game the container so you're going to buy something with new oil in it.
Yeah.
Once you empty it, the container of new oil that you put into your car becomes what you're going to take to probably any hardware store will likely take in used oil.
Auto parts store.
Auto parts store.
AutoZone does.
You're probably rolling the dice with Walmart.
I don't know if they do or not.
But I would call first. But
yeah, not all of them do.
Not all of them do.
No.
So I would call. If that's a hurdle for you, it's really not that complicated. You know, you're going into something that's going to have a lid, so it's not gonna fucking slosh around.
Yeah.
You know, save yourself a couple bucks. Make sure you log your mileage.
Yeah.
You know, and whatnot. And don't dump it in the gutter. Don't dump it in the trash can.
Yeah.
Take it to a place that will take it, and you'll probably feel better about having done something to your car.
Well, speaking of that
can save you some cash.
When I did Melly's coolant flush, I didn't know what to do with it, and auto parts stores won't take it.
Coolant?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's considered a hazardous material, and so I had to take it to our
landfill,
out to the dump. Yeah, our
really?
Local dump. And you don't go to where the hazardous, where they have like the recycling area for like cans and bottles. Mm-hmm. They have like also a hazardous recycling area for paints and shit like that.
Yes, I think Venus is used.
You don't take it there.
Really?
Yeah, you take it, instead of going up that way, you go to the other way where the scale is, and you just tell them, I have coolant that I need to get rid of. And they go, oh, okay. And he'll give you a sheet of paper that's no money. It doesn't cost you any money. And you take that to the far end where there's a shed on the corner, and then there's people there, and you get it out, and you tell them this coolant, and they go, okay, and they take your paper, and then they go, see you later. It doesn't cost you any money.
No muss, no fuss.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost you money because they probably don't. They want to incentivize you not to throw it down the drain or put it in your trash can, because that would be dick.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yeah. But the point of me talking about the oil change was on my daughter's Subaru. Oil changes are easy until they're not. I mean, and all it takes is a guy to just wrench down an oil filter a little too tight. They're only supposed to be hand tight.
Right.
But you wrench it down too tight, and then accessibility for the filter is difficult because on a Subaru, especially this Subaru, the exhaust manifold comes out the bottom and surrounds where the oil filter is. So if you've run the car even enough to get it off the street and into the garage to empty the oil out, the exhaust is really fucking hot. And so
you're like playing operation.
You gotta reach up through this like hole in the exhaust to get to the filter, and then the filter's tight, so you're wrenching on it and you're touching the. And I ended up having to go and buy oil filter like socket kit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically like a 6-pack of oil filter sockets, so you have all these different sizes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, one of them is the right size. And you just put it on there, and like in 12 seconds, it came right off. And I struggled with it for like 45 minutes or
Well,
so.
you had machine to help you.
Machine?
Yeah, you had a socket. Or you...
Well, I had to go buy a part.
Right. You on a drill socket? Or?
No, just on a ratchet.
But you had to... I get you.
But I mean, the car was sitting in the garage with the drain plug out and the oil just draining out, but I couldn't get the filter off. And the car was stuck out to the point where the garage door couldn't be closed. And I had started it in the morning, like 8 o'clock or 8:30 or something. And so I'm under the car trying to get this thing off there, burning myself, trying to, wait for it to cool, like getting up there and trying to get tools in there to like get this thing off. You can't stab it with a screwdriver and turn it because there's no way to get that tool up there.
Right, at an angle that...
It's just there's no accessibility. And like most cars, the filter is readily available. You could stab it, turn it. But this one, because it's surrounded by this exhaust manifold, you just can't get to it. And so finally I had to wake up my wife and be like, hey, I got to go to Harbor Freight in Citrus Heights to go pick up this thing so I can finish Melly's car. And she was like, okay. And so I said, I need you to watch the garage because it's going to be open. I can't put the door down because her car is sticking out. And so she says, okay. So I bolt, come back, and I had that thing home and got under the car, and within 12 seconds, the thing just came right off. That's how much having the right tools sometimes.
Right, but it costs you
$15
and time
to
go and then come back.
Yeah, and whatever gas that was.
Right.
Probably $6 or $8 in today's prices.
Right.
But man, that's a frustrating thing. I mean, not all cars are that hard. I can't imagine. I mentioned this. I can't imagine like if you were at a quick change oil change place and it was a blazing hot day, and you rode your Forester, in there and said, "I need an oil change." Some sorry sap has got to reach up through that hot ass exhaust to get that filter off. But you know what? They probably have the right tools.
They probably do.
Yeah.
I thought about that, and the one thing that crossed my mind was, 1, gloves.
Yeah, I did that.
2, being a service place that probably doesn't want like a OSHA workers' comp claims.
Right.
They probably don't have them. Like, we know you could probably get to this with your hands, but please use the tools.
Right.
Don't use your hands. And oil is unlike coolant, radiator coolant. You do want the engine a little bit warm to get it
viscous.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's almost, even if you go to a professional place, there's really no way to avoid some engine temperature. So I could see
yeah.
Now, you wouldn't want your engine warm at all if you're doing coolant.
No.
Coolant, you want, you do it wherever it's at.
200-degree coolant.
Yeah, no bueno. So I could see. I saw your point, and I'm like, someone that thinks but someone who's probably been doing that.
They probably have
they're
tools.
probably pros at it. If it's not a tool that they're like, fucking Subarus, I hate the Subarus. I ain't even going to bother. Daddy's just going to get up there with the tool. And then you've probably got your guys that have been like balls that still are inside the break room, and they come out and go, watch this, newbie. And they're ripping it off.
Well, the only reason why I say that is because one time I went to a Jiffy Lube or something. This is way back in the day, I think, when I had my Hyundai Excel, or I don't know. Went to a Jiffy Lube, and it was a hot day. Pulled in to get an oil change, and I'm sitting in the car while it's, they do it while you're in the car in the bay. And I hear the dude from down below. You can hear him clunking, and I hear him go, "Ow, motherfucker, that's hot!" So you know what happened.
Oh yeah,
because the oil, if you're just driving around,
that's why you don't use it with your dick.
Oh, I mean, if you're just driving around on a hot summer day, that engine oil is fucking hot,
Oh yeah,
man.
hot.
I mean, and then on top of that, you got to deal with filters, and when you unplug it, the oil comes out, and it's gonna get all over your hand.
Yeah.
And I think that was way before, like, because now it seems like gloves are the big deal, like the sort of like rubber gloves or whatever.
Oh yeah, the latex or nitrile.
Yeah, but that was like, we're talking like in the late '80s. I don't think anybody did that back then. You know.
No.
So that guy probably burned the shit out of himself, and it's always made an impression on me.
And that's funny because I used to, somewhere probably all the way up to my 20s and early 30s, it was that was how I changed oil. There was like no gloves. It was like you get the engine, you just fucking grease monkey.
Yeah,
this is the way it's done.
I didn't wear any gloves. Yeah,
and then at some point after having kids, and like, man, I don't want to deal with like.
Under the
3 days of oil schmitz and like I've got this orange clean stuff but I don't want
yeah.
And then you're like, I need to protect my hands, and you're fucking Thurston Howell. You're like, well, I need the nitriles. Where are those blue gloves? I don't want to and then I'm tying off little collars around my wrist because I was like, well, sometimes it's gonna come down through the gloves, and David, I just don't want the oil down my I can't deal with that. Compared to my like youthful years when like I would, I got my hand and forearm was in the fucking guts of the machine. I don't need that anymore. I'm well past that.
Most cars nowadays use a synthetic oil, and all of our cars do.
Yeah.
And that shit it's slippery when it's on your skin.
Oh, yeah.
Have you noticed the difference between normal conventional oil and synthetic?
Yeah.
How much more slick it is?
Slick.
It's creepy
fun time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, hey, Shan.
Hey.
I got this.
I mean,
burnt oil.
I'm not saying I was rolling my wang around in this because it was like hot syrup.
Yeah.
But if I was, perhaps we should slip and slide on each other.
I mean, we don't even need that to do that.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, it's changing oil is not hard, but then you run into these things. But now I'm all prepared. I got the tools that I always wanted a set of those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just found all of a sudden the reason I needed to go buy them.
Yeah. And if you're the guy that gets up there with fucking Sylvester Stallone over the top arm wrestling,
fuck right off.
Come on, fuck off, dude.
Yeah. Well, if you're breaking a motor mount trying to tighten the oil filter down.
If one of the tools you get out to tighten your oil filter is an impact wrench, you go sit on a glass cactus. I got a special place in the ninth circle of hell for you.
Dude. And it's just so funny because apparently there wasn't just enough. I didn't have quite just enough, but that wrench really made a big difference.
The leverage is all the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so funny. But anyway, I kind of enjoy doing it. You know what I mean? I'm very methodical about it. My wife's like, well, how long does it take to do an oil change? I'm like, I don't know. Some places you could probably get it done in like 20, 25 minutes. I'm like, for me, probably 40 minutes because I'm kind of methodical. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's something visceral about it, like getting the car up on the ramp.
And at this point, like
getting underneath it.
I think Grimlock, so the Subaru was my first. Now it's a little bit more involved. Like the Eclipse, there was easy access. You could jack the car up and you could see what you were getting at. As cars got slowly more advanced and fuel economy became more of a feature, a lot of cars started involving like an under tray, like an aerodynamic under tray, not only to keep the engine clean, but also to keep not draft, but your slipstream and whatnot, your aero a little bit more efficient.
Right.
So in those kind of cars, that's 5 to something extra minutes of, I got to pull these plugs out, and then I've got to remove this tray. And
don't have to do that any mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Not even the Caddy?
No, because the motor is so far back, the plastic trays sort of stop, and then the oil pan and the filter are behind all of it. The motor's really far back in that
count
car.
your stars. Yeah, the Subaru had a whole tray.
Yeah.
That had to come out. And then the Ghost, the RS, is the same way. It's got a tray that comes out, and it takes up the entire thing. Like I said, though, now that when I'm that involved, then it's like, well, this is, 10 minutes of extra process. Once I do the oil change, I'm taking that opportunity to be like, well, is there anything I can clean up in here as well? Like, just, I'm not fucking detailing the engine bay, but I'm taking an opportunity to see, like, is there a lot of, damn it, is there anything going on in here that looks out of the ordinary?
Yeah.
Is there oil leaking somewhere?
I got a torn boot. Do I have any bushings that are bad?
Right. What does the rubber look like?
Yeah.
It's a good opportunity to be like, a layman's inspection. You are not an and most people are probably not ASE certified mechanics, but it doesn't hurt to get an eyeball like,
Speaking of that, when I was doing the oil change on my wife's CRV, that car, when you're on the highway, for instance, if you throttle down on it and it kicks up into higher RPMs, there is an actual shake in the car that I haven't been able to figure out what it is.
Oh.
So my thought initially was that we've got a broken motor mount or maybe a transmission mount or, I cannot find a mount that's broken. I don't know what else it could be. I've read hundreds of different things on the internet. No one has the same. Everyone's like blaming third-party CV axles and stuff. And we've never had to replace any. So these are Honda CV axles. I just don't know where it's coming from, and I'd love to figure it out. If anyone fucking knows, only when you're at a high RPM. So when it shifts.
But it does it when it shifts.
Well, if you like downshift and then high RPM, that's when you see it. But if you're driving a regular, like low speed around town, you don't ever see it. But if you're on the highway and you get into it, it downshifts and you get high RPM, then it'll happen.
Is it a clunk or a shimmy?
It's a shake, like of the whole chassis. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very discerning.
I don't have anything else.
Disconcerting.
Yeah.
Put that in your brain and think about it for a bit. Because I've been trying to figure it out for a while. But no one knows. I've even read accounts of people like taking their car to the dealer and being like, I have this problem, and then they don't ever figure it out. So I don't know. I have no idea.
Last weekend, some more car stuff. Last weekend, I walked in, Piper was chilling free time on the couch. And she something on the phone, it didn't matter what.
Yeah.
I walked through the room, saw her, and I went, good time for a pop quiz. I'm like, Piper, how many cylinders is the Miata? What kind of gas does it take? What octane? Front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, rear wheel drive. How many speeds is the transmission? Yeah. Where's the gas cap pull lever? What side is the gas cap on? It's O for all of them.
Over.
And then Venus is like, "Oh my God, she's stressing out because I'm like, there's no grading. She needs to know these things.
Yeah. I
just thought I'd see where she stood."
Yeah.
That had to have been Saturday because Sunday we were doing yard work. And but I obviously then answered each of the questions. Now, I didn't tell her where to get the answers, but then Sunday, we're out doing yard work, and she walks over my space, and she's like, what's the next thing? And I said, you do this. And I said, Piper, how many cylinders are in the Miata? 4. All-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. What side is the gas cap on? Driver's side. Where is the gas cap pull lever? Inside the center console. How many speeds is it? 6.
Damn.
How many liters is it? 2. Like,
she knew that?
See? Yes.
She's like,
she knew
Wikipedia.
Honest to God, she knew all of the answers from just getting, and they were all the questions that I had asked Saturday.
Yeah.
So she had retained. I'm like, fucking see? That's not so hard.
Yeah.
One of the things that I did was because it's used, the shift knob. What that leather that comes in most cars, but it's a 2012, so it had a little bit of hand wear.
Yeah.
But it's got the H pattern on it, so it's got your reverse in the upper left. Oh, that was the other question.
Where's reverse?
Where's reverse? And she's like, to the left. I'm like, how do you get to it? You have to push down. She got that one right. She did get that one because we made a point. Anyway, I replaced the knob on the shifter itself, so it's manual transmission. I replaced the knob because it was worn, and I wanted something I didn't want something gaudy, but it didn't need to be as tall as it was. So I just got this really nice aluminum, like gunmetal.
Like billet or something?
Yeah. A little bit smaller, but think billiard ball size. It fits bigger than a golf ball. Fits awesome in your palm.
Did you steal that out of a Golf? Or a GTI?
No, because I wanted something of quality. Hashtag hey Datas. I mean, it fits amazing in hand, and it's weighted, so it feels really good. But it has
no H,
nothing on it. And Venus goes, well, how is she going to know? And I went, when was the last time you looked at the fucking shifter to figure out?
Yeah, but a new driver might do
where
that.
to go next. She knows it's 6 speeds.
Yeah.
I said, it's only going to take 10 minutes for her to realize, well, she already knows it's 6 speeds. She knows where reverse is. How often is she going to need to look at the instructions on the top of the shifter to figure out what comes next? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reverse is up and left.
Yeah.
And it was this big old funny thing. I'm like, who need? And then I realized, I'm like, to Venus, like, get in the car. You ain't tell me once you start driving, you have zero understanding of what's on top of the ball.
Right.
You just do it.
Yeah.
It's automatic. It's like fucking breathing. Now, the only thing that may happen is this a 5-speed or 6-speed? But at freeway speeds in that car, I think as we've talked before, the way the gearing is, it almost makes you
want
to shoot for whatever gears are left.
Yeah.
And once you end up in the bottom right-hand corner, well, that's it.
Yeah.
Your game's over. Now, the Ghost RS is different. Like, it's geared so high that I could be in 5th and feel like 6 is like, why? Like, I guess if I'm trying to conserve fuel or something. But 5th feels...
It's cruising speed,
yeah,
man.
5th feels fine.
Yeah.
I often struggle to find a reason to get into 6. With the Miata,
you want to be there.
You want to get there. The gearing pushes you to find and get to the last or all the gears. Like, this fucking teachable moment. Yeah, I'm pulling out the fucking handy capable instruction manual on top of the shifter, and
Chandler's
we'll do
GTI is like that.
Really?
Yeah, when you're you're trying to figure out, well, do I need 6 gear? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay right now.
Yeah.
Similar kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're on the freeway, it's one thing for sure. You want to
right,
be
right,
in that
absolutely.
Gear,
but,
yeah. Anyway, so I thought it was fun, but also tragic briefly. Very, very briefly.
And you got rid of all of your waste in a safe and...
well, not all of it. I mean,
No.
I have some. I bought a new, bigger, wider oil collector pan.
Oh, okay.
Because like I said, I was always under the impression with the collector pan that we had that was 10 quarts, I could do 2 oil changes out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Chandler has proved me wrong. And I'm like, well, that means that I need to get a different. If we're going to be doing oil changes at home, I need to get a bigger one. So the one I got is 16 quarts.
Mm-hmm.
So I can hold 16 quarts of oil. That's basically 3 changes plus some extra.
He did his own car, and then you did...
What happened with him is he changed the oil in his car, and he had a leak because he'd used the wrong crush washer on the bolt.
Drain plug?
Yeah. And so he had to pull the bolt, which I think he ended up draining a bunch of oil out into the pan to put a new crush washer in. and that's why it had extra oil.
Unaccounted
Yeah.
effort. I see.
And so then when I go to dump almost 5 quarts of oil into it from Shanna's car, then it didn't have enough room to take it.
So you did CRV, Subaru, and your car, the Caddy?
Yep.
I gotcha.
Yeah. The next job is going to be the transmission fluid flush on the Cadillac. I have all the bits now. I've got 7 quarts of ATF, which is difficult to find locally, but I was able to find it on Amazon because it's a high-performance version. And then I got a gasket and filter for the transmission because it has this is a common thing on this particular transmission. It's an 8-speed. They have a 6, an 8, and a 10-speed transmission for
the Cadillac.
GMs do in general. Okay. So this transmission gets used in Camaros, a bunch of other stuff. Cadillacs, Camaros, a bunch of other things. I can't remember the model, but anyways, they have an issue where when the fluid gets dirty, the transmission will shudder almost like you're glugging a manual transmission car. You're in too high of a gear for the speed that you're at, and you're giving it gas, and it's you kind of get that. That's what it feels like.
Okay.
Very common problem. Everyone says the fix is to change the transmission fluid. So that's what I'm going to do. And it takes about 6 or 7 quarts. So
as probably the other tip for someone that's looking to tackle this on their own. So as someone that's changing your oil, how do you track when it's time in all these different cars that are not your own? How are you tracking it's time to change oil? Or do you have a diary for each car or a calendar reminder? How are you tracking
I go with the electronic tracking, and the CRV and the Cadillac both tell me when it's time to change. They have an oil life. The Subaru, it had been about a year, and I just figured it was time to change it. So I didn't.
So how are you going to track it next? Does it have a life meter built into the ECU as well? Or are you just going to have to...
I don't think that car has a built-in thing. I'm just going to have to keep track of the mileage, I think. So, yeah. How about you? Are you electronic?
Well, the RS and the Explorer both do it electronically. So the RS, we were just talking about this. The RS does time as well as mileage, and it'll do whichever one triggers first. Obviously, I don't leave the house, so there's been a number of times where I think we took it to the dealership for an inspection for something or a recall, and they courtesy oil changed and reset the date.
Yeah,
and I think I've only put maybe 1,500 miles on it.
Oh, damn!
And I got somewhere in COVID, it's time to change your oil. I'm like, fuck, this is no.
Come on.
There's no way. But it had been probably 6 to 7 months. I think they've just figured, it hit a clock thing. And kick over. So I just reset it internally. But, the Miata doesn't have that.
Yeah.
So I started, I just took an old notebook, and for some of the things that I know that it needs work on, I just started making the first mod. I wrote in the shifter.
Yeah.
I replaced the. It has these door bushings because it's convertible. It has these door bushings that are used as chassis stiffening between the front and rear of the car using the doors. I replaced those with these hard plastic Delrin machined things, which are better than the stock rubber ones that were really squishy, so it helps stiffen it. So I wrote all of these things down. So because it doesn't have the fancy computer stuff, I'll be writing changed oil here, changed, this, and that way, and I'll put it in the glove box or something, so that way, if Piper needs to check what.
That's the old school way of doing it.
It is. I did that for the Fiero. I was too young and stupid to do it for my first car, for the Mustang, but the Fiero and the Eclipse had
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, I'll do this for here.
I mean, maybe I need to go buy those cool little sticky.
Put it in the windshield?
Yeah. Buy a couple of those and just write the mileage down.
Right, because, I mean, if at some point Melly heads off to school or something,
right,
and she starts putting mileage on, you're either reminding her manually or like, what's your mileage at? You need to come home so I can change your oil.
Right.
Or take it to a thing, and they're going to give her,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if people are changing their own oil anymore these days, but I kind of like it.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
I mean, it sucks in a sense that it's like, it's just another thing I got to do because I've already got plenty of things to do. But also, if I was going to have to take it somewhere, that's just time I would have to be waiting for it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would get it done quicker than taking it somewhere else, probably. And then sometimes it's like, I don't know if I trust these guys to like do it right to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So,
like, did you get up there with the wrench and torque that fucker down?
Yeah.
Or
did you get the Hulk to put on the filter? Because that's how everybody else does it.
Did he like burn his hand and then Hulk out and then fucking torque it down to 300 pounds of fuck off?
Yeah, because you always hear the horror stories of like, well, I took my car to such and such to get an oil change, and they stripped out the pan bolt,
Yeah.
And like, oh, I mean,
no thanks.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've happened that in like tire rotations. Like, oh yeah, we had to replace your lug nut. Why? Our torque wrench is just too alpha. What?
Why are you doing that?
The fuck is wrong? What? No.
Chandler had that happen with his car. His
blow out a lug nut? Like,
no, it was his old Civic, and he took it and had some work done, I think, at Les Schwab.
Yeah.
And then they were him and somebody else were working on his car, and they were gonna put on. He had bought like Racelands or something to put on it, and they were gonna put them on in the garage. They couldn't get the wheels off the car. They could not get the wheels off the car. So he took it back in there and was like, you guys were the last people to do this just a couple weeks ago when I had whatever it was done. I don't remember. And they were like, and he's like, I can't get the wheels off. And so what was nice, he goes, I'm trying to put on a set of coilovers. I got all four corners. And the guy's like, okay. And so when they got it into the shop to get the lugs off, they couldn't get them off. So they were working hard to get them off.
Wow.
And the guy apologized up and down. He says, I'll tell you what, I'll install all those for you for free. So he got them to install. He didn't get them, and they offered to install all of his coilovers on us all the way around for free because they couldn't even get the fucking wheels off.
Wow.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's way too hard.
Yeah, like why are you wrenching? There is a torque spec.
Yeah.
And if you exceed the torque spec, that can ruin some shit.
Yeah.
That'll warp stuff.
Yeah.
And break lug nuts. I mean,
no bueno.
So anyway. So part of that is like, I'm like, when it comes to doing brakes and stuff like that, when I put the wheels back on, I'm super careful about what the torque spec is, and I get the torque wrench out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like when I was young, I would be like, let's get full body weight behind this thing. Because I corner
jumping on it.
Yeah, I corner so hard. I don't want this bitch falling off. Yeah. And now I'm like, torque spec.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. That's a thing.
Yeah. It doesn't, like, I'm fucking 185 pounds. I don't need to be jumping on a tire iron like, is this fucker tight? Yes. Star pattern. Here we go. Next one. Is this fuck? Yep.
Wait, if you really don't care and you're jumping on the tire iron, then you're not even doing star pattern. You're just fucking cranking all the way around.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like anal about that stuff. Seriously.
It took a till the Eclipse. Like I trashed. It was not nice to the Fiero.
Yeah.
Or the Mustang.
Well, like I know with the transmission service, I'm gonna like all the bolt. There's like fucking 20 bolts that go around the transmission pan, and I think they're 8 nanometers. You know what I mean? So a little less than 8 foot-pounds. For each one of those bolts.
Newtons.
Newton meters. Yeah. And yeah, that's right. And I'm like, well, I gotta do what I gotta do. You know, that's just what they want.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna do it.
And if I can find if there's a recommended pattern for the fucking bolts, that I'm gonna be looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm so retentive now at this age and the cars and not wanting to pay for a mistake. Like I went and looked the other day as I was poking around in the engine bay for the Miata. I'm like, you know what I need that I don't have? Like the chalk paint things that they use to mark, like, I've done this bolt.
Yeah.
I've tightened this one to spec. I'm like, I don't have one
The
of those.
factory does that.
Yeah, but I should have one. That way I know which ones I've touched. I'm like, I should get one of those. But I think we have chalk pens. I didn't end up getting anyone. But that's how retentive I've become at this point with, like, car ownership. Like, I should, because I may forget if I've tightened something, I need to be able to mark it.
You want to hear a funny story? Speaking of tightening things.
Whoa. Okay.
Here's a story for you.
Let's do this.
I wanted to replace the front suspension on the Civic at one point.
Okay.
So I bought new stuff. It comes in. Chandler and I are going to do it. So we get it all taken out, get the new stuff put in, and Chandler was sitting on the floor. He wanted to do all the main sort of work, and it's like, whatever. Okay, fine, you know. And I think it was part of it was he was in like auto shop class at the time or something like that. And it's like,
cool.
Okay, you know, he kind of knows what's going on. I'll let him if he wants to. That's fine.
Right.
So we get it all done, get the car put back together. It's fine. And I take it down to I don't even remember.
Was it a prison?
Brake Masters or something
Okay.
over by Lowe's.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just need to get an alignment. You know, I just replaced the fucking front end on this thing, so I need to get an alignment. Okay, no problem. Sitting there, I see the car get put into the thing, and then shortly after the car gets backed off of the thing, and I'm like, that was pretty fucking fast.
Wow, rapidamente.
And then you're worried, like, what kind of alignment did I just get?
Right.
The guy comes back in, and he calls me up, and he's like, yeah, we couldn't do it. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, all the bolts were loose.
Oh, shit.
So here I am fucking driving it between my house and then back because what else am I going to do?
Yeah. And you're wondering why you have to have the massivest shit because you've been oscillating at a frequency.
Yeah. I get home. I'm like, motherfucker, like, are you trying to kill me?
Yeah.
Like,
you wouldn't even get the life insurance. Your mom would.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of scary. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Pull the wheels back off, go over every fucking bolt, you know.
Chalk pen, baby.
Take it back. Okay.
Son.
We're ready this time.
Wow.
Because he was under the impression I had a shop work on it, which I'm not going to like.
I'm
not going to be like, no, my son and I.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, those fuckers, I'm going to take it back.
Yeah, you'll be a sad dad in front of your son, but you're not going to throw him under the bus to the shop.
Well, he wasn't there. It was just me.
Oh, yeah.
And when I got home, I'm like, you fucking asshole. Like,
you almost killed me.
You trying to kill me?
Punk little bitch.
Yeah. So then wheels off. Tighten everything back up. God damn. So there's a story.
What the shit?
Yeah. I feel like Mike has to hear that one at some point.
Mike could be like, not surprised.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But he's probably got back wheels that aren't even full lug nutted.
Probably. And he's like, that's the way it is.
Did he get his car back yet?
No, he is still driving the Charger.
Charger?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I drove that car.
Yeah.
And I wasn't kidding when I don't know if you read what I wrote about it.
I don't remember verbatim everything, but I remember you saying that you drove it.
Yeah, I drove it. So this is a Dodge Charger HEMI. It's not the RT. Is it RT? I don't even know what model it is. SRT maybe? I think it's the SRT.
Okay.
And maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just, I don't even fucking know. Anyways, it's pretty cool. It sounds really good when you start it. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's got some noise.
It's the V8 burble.
Yeah, and I'm not I don't really care much for the loud cars. You know, but the exhaust sounds really good.
Yeah. There's something in the loins.
Yeah, and I get in it, and I'm like hopping all over it, and I swear it felt like it was gonna just fucking unleash itself all over the world.
Yeah.
But in actuality, that was the impression it was giving me.
Right. Bark is worse than the bite?
Yeah. In actuality, what it felt like was a car that had serious turbo lag where the turbo never actually kicks in. That's what it felt like. I mean, it's almost 100 more horses than the ATS.
Yeah.
But it didn't drive like that.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. It maybe
neutered.
I don't know. Maybe. But that was the impression. But it sounds really good.
I had just seen, because he had allegedly made comments about tire shredding. I had just seen, oddly enough, the algorithm, a YouTube video of one. I can't stand this because I can't stand people that treat cars like shit intentionally, and I know Mike has probably done something along this vein. So I still love you anyway. But watching it in hindsight, this guy.
Does it matter what kind of car?
I don't know where he and I think it's because the guy has money of not Mike. Whatever this YouTube channel driver is, money up the wazoo. So it's like there was no loss. It was like I'm a dick to be a dick kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So they go to a U-Haul center to rent an F-150 with like all of the white fleet U-Haul F-150. So everything is stock on it. It's got the U-Haul stickers on it. Unmistakable rental.
Right.
They take it out to a field, jump it, hit it with a sledgehammer, treat it like absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
Ruin it. And then they take it back to
like, here's the car.
And they're like, okay, coverage,
Yeah.
Right? We're good. There's part of me that's like, you wonder if these type of things actually exist and whether or not, and if you've listened to any of Mike's stories, you know that they exist.
Yeah.
But to see it, like, there's a part of me that's like, wow, that would be really funny to participate in. And then the other part is like the person that's like, fucking really?
Yeah.
That's some privileged bullshit. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
And he left and it's hard to tell too whether or not the entirety of it was staged. Like, here, we'll give you $20,000 for the truck, but we're gonna wreck it and just play along,
right?
Kind of thing. So it's hard to tell the genuine perspective of it. But he leaves and gives like a post-narrative thing where he's like, I honestly don't think the manager of the U-Haul thought that it was the truck that I rented. I think he thought that we took the livery off and put it on a F-150, like they were trying to like dupe a wrecked F-150 and throw a bunch of U-Haul shit, because he's like, he kept scanning the VIN. Like, well, the VINs match. Like, how did they get the VIN from the good one on this piece of shit one?
Right.
And so it was like, I'm not 100%. Was it genuine or not? Because I don't think I had kept having to mute it because I was starting to get all triggered about, like, why would you do this to someone who's just trying to make a buck? Anyway. They also ruin, what's the new Dodge that competes with the Raptor, the T-Rex, supercharged like Hellcat motor in a truck.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, what? They put these big ass 44s on it and just straight up, they're in like South Dakota, North Dakota or something, because everything is frozen all the time. And they've got spacers upon spacers stacked on spacers, so it looks like
so the wheels can stick out and not rub.
Gravedigger Bigfoot monster truck type of thing.
Oh boy!
And they're jumping this, and it ruins the fenders. It had to have bent the frame. Some of these jumps are just straight up trophy truck caliber.
Yeah.
And they drive it to the dealership, like, hey, we'd like to get the oil changed. And the thing is like, it sounds awesome, but cosmetically, it looks like it had been in a destruction derby.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this hurts me in the heart place
Yeah.
because A, I would love to have that truck.
Yeah.
You know, it would be fun to own. And B, they have so much money that they took probably a $90,000+ truck and treated it like shit. And it's a big joke.
Yeah.
There was the dad in me just gets instantly upset about that.
There was a YouTuber that Chandler was showing me videos for, and it was maybe you too, and it was like in a Model S or something, a Tesla Model S.
Okay.
And he shakes a bottle of soda, or no, he drops Mentos in a bottle of like Diet Coke.
Oh yeah, the Mentos Diet Coke thing.
Yeah, in the car. So it fucking explodes all over the inside of the car.
Yes.
And I'm just like, oh my God, dude, what are you, this is like probably a fucking $90,000 car that you're destroying the interior on for no reason
like you'll
whatsoever.
always be like,
just because it's fucking, haha.
Yeah. For the clicks on the YouTubes.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, that's just, I hate that shit. Although, back in my day, when we used to go out of town a lot, Tony and I, we would rent and get shitty cars like a Chevy Malibu.
Yeah.
And we would just hit speed bumps going 40.
Really?
Oh, yeah. One time we had just a funny thing. Like every time we would get out of the car, fucking slam the doors as hard as possible.
Oh.
And one time we had the trunk open and we were getting stuff out. And then Tony just like, wham, slams it. And at one point we kept reopening the trunk and doing this. At one time the trunk flexed so much on the push down that it like hit and went gung 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 and like popped back up. And we were just fucking crying, laughing. We just did some dumb shit. But you know, I mean, that's why you don't buy rental cars.
That's why you don't buy the rentals. I'm telling you.
Just be like in a parking lot, tuk 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 over speed bumps, you know.
Let's see the suspension travel.
We are going so fast you wouldn't even see it move. And then get out of the car and then just fucking slam the door as hard as you could.
Yeah.
And we'd just be laughing.
There's some Mustangs or something in Reading that I'm sure Mike has bent frames of.
I mean, we wouldn't be like jumping them and shit, but we weren't easy on it.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm.
Oh my gosh. So anything good happened this weekend? Did you
I did not.
You didn't?
Install my misters, but I have them. Oh, it did the black thing.
I know.
You touched it. It wasn't me.
It wasn't. I didn't do nothing. Yeah, you know, I ordered mine after yours.
Right.
Got them in, and they were sitting in. They come in that plastic pack, and I had them sitting out back.
Right.
And then yesterday, when I got done doing work stuff, I was like, you know what? I got some time. This won't take that long.
Mm-hmm.
And I had already pulled the stuff out and kind of looked at it, so I was familiar with all the stuff. I just started putting it together.
Yeah.
And finished it, and maybe took me about an hour and a half-ish to get it all put together. And holy smokes, I'm impressed. It's very quality-wise, it seems okay.
Mm-hmm.
The misters themselves mist really good. I have them spaced about that far apart.
Did you get the filter?
No.
Like a water filter?
No, I didn't get it.
I'll let you know how that goes.
Okay. So is that you had to get that extra?
Yeah, it popped up, and I was gonna get one.
Oh, okay.
And I was gonna do much more research and whatnot, but it popped up, and like the customers who buy this also buy this, and I went, you know what? I already know I fight hard water stains, so if I think it was $10-15. So I have one, but I like I said, I didn't get to it.
I got a Y splitter for the hose bib.
Right.
Put the hose on one side, put that on the other side. And so today, when my wife came home, we went out back, and it's been cool the last couple of days.
Yeah, we've lucked
low
out.
70s.
Yeah.
I think it made 71 today, so it's been cool. But we were out back, and it's warm, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Turn on the misters, it's instantly, you can feel it cool off like instantaneously. It's amazing how much of a difference it makes.
I am looking forward to see. So part of the reason I didn't get to it this weekend was I started to have a design conflict with what my wife wanted.
Uh-oh.
Originally, I was going to put them in the, I think where I discussed in the last episode, I was going to put them a length in like an L shape, bordering some of the internal part of the boardwalk. And I was going to use posts on the moving platforms that I already had. So these would be, I was going to hang them roughly 7 to 8 feet high.
Yeah.
Like up out of the way. But as we started arranging stuff and cleaning up the backyard and doing stuff, moving the rocks and cleaning the rocks around the boardwalk itself, I realized that the galvanized tubs that I have the posts in that I was using to hold the shade, like the solar shade thing.
Yeah.
The galvanized tubs are 3 to 3.5 feet in diameter, so they're big. I don't have that kind of real estate along the boardwalk without creating some sort of stepping obstacle on the boardwalk. So I said, what if I take, because we've repurposed tiki torches that no longer have the tiki oil insert canister.
Yep.
And what we do is we have solar lights inside there instead. So we have those in a couple places. And I said, well, I've got these that I could repurpose and take the solar lights out and put them on stakes and reuse the tiki posts and run the misters in between, like along the boardwalk instead. And Venus immediately went, no, that won't work. Someone's going to run into the misters because they'll be at like chest, throat height,
right,
and coming across the boardwalk into the rocks to like the camp, like the fire pit. Someone's going to guillotine themselves on the misters. And I said, no one does that. No one goes that way. Everyone walks on the path, or the only people that do that are us who live in the fucking house, and we're shortcutting it. And we're going to see the misters. The dogs make that shortcut all the time, but the dogs aren't 6 feet fucking tall.
Yeah.
And I could not sell it.
Sometimes you win those, and sometimes you lose.
They need to be high. Like, it'll be okay. No, it won't. They need to be high. And I'll push this one off. And then I think as we look towards the week, the temperatures are going to be much more temperate this week. So I pushed off a couple things and moved it around.
Next Wednesday, it's supposed to be 108, 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Like just that one day? Or are we looking at
I think it was
hundreds?
106 on Wednesday and 108 on Thursday or something like that.
So maybe.
And then I think we're supposed to hit the 90s here in the next couple of days. Up until that point.
Saturday, Sunday, I'm looking for a pole solution.
Dancer? Oh.
And putting up my misters.
Yeah.
Because it had not occurred to me, because part of the thing we talked about in the last show was like, I'm hoping to lower costs and energy efficiency and make it easier on my cooling. But I hadn't really conceptualized, how would I know that that's actually happening? And it wasn't until I think yesterday when it had crossed my mind that I again could not sell their height positioning.
Yeah.
Like, well, where would I put my like laser thermometer because I would want to know.
You got to point it at
I
something
would like
specific.
to see the data to see.
I don't think you use a laser thermometer. I think you use a regular thermometer.
And just hold it in the air?
Yeah.
Aren't those the ones you put in your ass, though? How is it going to know?
No, not
What?
Not you're not going to, use one of those. You just use a regular, don't you have a regular thermometer that just tells you the ambient air temperature outside?
No.
You don't have one of those?
No.
Oh, well, that's...
Like a weather station kind of thing?
Or just I don't know.
Oh, yes, I think I do.
I mean, that's your ideal, because a laser thing is just pointing at something specific and what's the temperature of that.
Yes,
right?
But I would like to see if that has because outside of my house is stucco.
Yeah.
So if that translates into actually cooling
the house.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I would like to, even if it's, or if it's not, I think that would be interesting data. Now, if it just cools the ambient air, on the outside, like near the windows, and we can leave the doors and windows open. And as we like just turn the fan on for the air conditioning, but not the air, just the fan.
Yeah.
If it cools ambient air, you're right. I think I have like a couple simple thermometer things that I could set on a chair or something to
you just walk around
get
with
an
it.
eyeball.
Yeah.
I think I have something like that. But I would also like to see, like, if this cools down the outside of the house, that all translates
into some savings.
To, ambient is a starting point.
Well, I'll tell you what. So we have a patio cover, and the patio cover covers about, wouldn't you say, like halfway out from the house?
Yeah.
And then we have a brick patio extension that goes beyond that with the fire pit on it. The entire space, so the misters go around the edge of the patio cover, and they sort of surround the patio. Inside the covered patio, oh my gosh, it got downright chilly.
Really?
Yes. And you could feel the mist on the other side away from the house out by the sound wall, like Shannon was sitting out on the chair like next to the sound wall. You could feel it all the way out there. It wasn't as cool, but you could still tell.
That's interesting. And I'd asked a couple of friends on my work team that are in Arizona.
Yeah.
Like, I know you have a pool, but do you have misters? No. Like, I'm confused. He was like, oh, some of the restaurants and bars do on their like outdoor patio things to keep it cool. I'm like,
why wouldn't
this whole concept seems very like, have we found a nugget to make cooling efficiency? Like, why would this not be a thing if it actually helped? Well, I'm not talking about like putting, irrigation on your roof.
Right.
But if you can cool the outside, like 5 to 7 feet, like bubble of atmosphere around your house, would that not be energy conservation that everyone in the state, as we get these hot fucking temperatures, would be interested in doing?
Well, I think that most of the temperature of your house is related to the heat that is trapped by your roof, right? Your roof just absorbs that energy all day long, soaking up, and your attic takes a hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the biggest problem when
Do you have an attic fan?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you use that to get
it's automatic
to vacate? Oh, really?
It clicks on.
I was just talking to Ian.
Yeah.
And he was saying pretty much the same thing. It's like, your air conditioner is doing so much, but if you have a hot pocket of air in these century degree temperatures, you've got a hot ass blanket that's always constantly pushing your AC to do its thing, even if you're, recirculating.
The cold air.
He's
in the
like,
house.
I will goose. His attic fan or whole house fan. He'll open up the windows, turn that thing on for 15 minutes to lower the internal temperature of the house.
Yeah.
Plus, it blows out the attic.
Oh, now we don't have a whole house fan. We just have an attic fan, which is it sits up in the gable of the attic and blows out.
Oh.
And draws air from underneath the eaves up into the attic itself.
Okay.
But we don't have a whole house fan like the big thing that opens up in the ceiling and draws.
Oh yeah,
it up.
his was that. So he pulls whole house, and vacates out the attic as well.
Yeah, those are really, really cool.
Yeah, he's like he did it with a friend, so DIY.
Yeah.
Bought it off of he went to Lowe's, I think. Bluetooth Wi-Fi, so he can turn it on and off without having to hit a thermostat or anything. Set a temperature. He's like, the amount of money it's saved is, unquantified. He's like, I'll be honest, I don't know, but it gets the house cooler faster. And he said that it's got like a white noise kind of sound to it too. He's like, Chloe, my niece, almost prefers to, like, as she goes to bed, like, Dad, could you turn on that house fan?
Yeah.
The hum will.
Those fans are so efficient that you can, if you have drapes hanging in your house, they'll actually pull the drapes,
suck the drapes in.
Yeah.
I could only see. So if you had misters on like a shaded part of your house with the whole house fan, so you pre-cool
the air on
the
outside.
cushion.
Yeah.
Then you kick on this whole house fan. you could quickly lower the amount of work that your AC has to do.
Right.
But I need data. I need to see
want
the data.
We've wanted one for a while. We just haven't done it. And
Venus is like every year, we should get the thing.
Yeah.
The thing.
Well, the other one is
run across other shit that
we don't have a good place to put it.
We struggle with that too.
Yeah.
It's like because the way that our ceilings work, the only place really to put it would be in the hallway.
Yeah.
And where we have, it's doable.
Yeah.
But it's a hurdle for a DIYer.
Right.
Because there's a light fixture here, and this probably doesn't have. And so now I'm going to have to cross beam this to make sure it's got support, and that would probably where it's someplace that I can put it inside the house in the hallway. In the attic, there's like a cross section of the AC ducting vents,
right.
So it would be obstructed with
right.
And so I've got options, but maybe possibly not really, and that continually
they're not the best options,
right? It's like a design hurdle that always just stops me dead in my track.
Yeah.
Well,
I think about it. It's like I would prefer to have it in the hallway,
right?
But you look in the hallway, and there's the access is on one side. There's lights up there. There's a fire thing, and then there's the AC return is on the other end.
Yeah.
There's a fire alarm. So you got all those things, and then it's like, well, this would be the great place for it, but with the return being right there, there's hoses and stuff that go to the thing.
Right.
And it's like, well, that's a big pain. Well, I could put it out here in the family room. It's not going to be ideal because it's kind of ugly, but we could put it there. But also, there's a fire alarm right there. That means I'd have to move that. Can I move that?
Right.
Where do I move that?
It nests really fast.
Yeah.
And as someone that's DIY capable,
yeah,
it's like the doing isn't necessarily the struggle.
Right.
It's the little nested things that all prohibit the doing.
Those are the things that paralyze my ability to
enact something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I start overthinking things and worrying about those minute details and how am I going to deal with that X or Y or Z or whatever the thing is.
Right.
And then that just throws everything into like, well, shit. Now what?
I've got an hour and a half to deal with this. Can I do it? Then no, because these little things are probably going to trickle out. Do I have that part? No. All right.
And how do I deal with these other things?
Right. I'll have to do. I'm just going to go. I'll change the oil.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
I gotta go mow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That sprinkler's pissing me off.
Those are the things that paralyze some of my DIY-ness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah.
I applaud people who just get her done. It's like sometimes I feel like I watch a lot of YouTube, right? I feel like I watch some of these DIY people do stuff and they just do it. And maybe we're not seeing the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
they had to have pre-planned.
In some cases, yeah.
Yeah. They had to have pre-planned. They have to know what they're up against. But they make it look like they just do it. It's just like, we're just gonna put this thing in here, and it's like they just do it. And like I'm like, how did you know you could do that?
Right. Did you know? Where was the what?
Yeah.
This was a 15-minute episode.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You had the perfect situation for the perfect opportunity to do that perfect project.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen in my house.
Yeah. My parents had one, and it was in their hallway, and it was the perfect location. You know?
Yeah.
But I don't have that perfect location.
Right.
We actually do we don't have the attic cooling aspect of it, but we do the part where when it starts to cool off in the evening, windows get opened up and a fan gets put in one window and it blows out and it draws air from the other windows through the house, and that's how we cool the house down. So if we can do that and not run the air for a while, great.
Right.
If it's too hot, that's not even an option. The air has to run. We have to be comfortable.
Yeah.
But I would love to have that attic fan. I would love to. We've talked about it countless times at my house. Just Like, it's like, well, where are we going to put it? We can't put it here because of that. We can't do this.
Yeah.
It would be ugly if it was right here. Maybe we could put it in the front entryway. I don't know. And there's a light there too. It's like, I don't know. I don't know where to put it.
Data, move out. We're going to put the fan in your room.
I thought of that too, actually. Literally while we were talking, I thought of that.
Take your door off the hinges. So become a vacate room.
Yeah. We're going to put an airlock in it.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All done.
That's it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Positive?
I'm trying to stop these 40-minute
hour
episodes.
and 20s. All right. Well, hey, we appreciate you listening, everybody. If you can, write us a review. If not, hey, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Hey, no sweat. I mean, we'll just keep recording anyway.
Also, if you are into YouTube videos, like we are.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a YouTube channel. Go check it out.
Like, subscribe. I won't say smash. You don't have to smash.
No, just clicking it.
But hey, we like the comments and the clicking.
Jason puts a lot of effort into making sepia videos.
Absolutely.
And
I mean, I have gotten more comments about sepia than any other color grading.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So if you want to check that out, feel free. We'd love to have you watch Foo's sepia videos.
Yeah, they're nice.
And we appreciate you listening.
Right.
So with that said, don't forget to wash your ass.
Wash your hands.
Wear the mask.
Return the cart.
Do the kindness.
Get the shot.
And thanks for listening.
And we'll catch you next week.